go off, everyone's like, well, what's going on? Where have they got this energy from? It's Pepsi Max.
Oh yeah, it's refueled them, tanked them up, much like the path plane that's now departing. And of course, like, you can be refueled if you grab yourself the GT20 Pro as well, Blank, so you can be dialed in no matter where you are in the world when competing in PUBG Mobile.
That's what you need to do. This phone looks awesome, plays awesome. You need to grab one at the end of the day. But here we go, heading into our 5th match here. Miramar's all the way to the end of this one. We've got one coming up right after this, but stick around because this has been a slobber knocker of a tournament so far. Just plays galore. You never know what's going to happen next. You might do now, though. Alliance might just keep putting up numbers. And I said it might be very difficult for them to drop out of the top 12, but they might make it even more difficult for teams to jump into the top 12. You're playing alongside them, and they are just stealing points right now.
Yeah, they can gatekeep. Like, they really can.
Big time.
They've got control of the ladder at the minute. In a game of snakes and ladders, Blanks, it's all about trying to climb those ladders and avoid the snakes, but it's hard when they're poisonous and they're winning 1v4s back to back to back.
Dude, you're talking about snakes here, but Leon's, as a solo, more like a hydra in that last match. Unbelievable plays coming through from this guy. But at the moment, we have a very much Western-leaning playing path, dropping a lot of teams into uncomfortable positions. At the moment, you got IHC up towards Monte Nuevo. A couple of teams giving ground towards them. Reject dropping towards San Martin. A lot of teams probably going to be getting on their bikes here, getting in their buggies, trying to head a little bit further up towards that northeast side. Will limit the loot time, though. That is the big thing here for a lot of teams. Teams like D plus Kia, IHC, Brute Force will be looted and booted, ready to go in this game, but they will have to push through a lot more teams than a team like Team Liquid, who is already heading up towards that northeast side.
I'm going to do it again. Who's going to win, Blank?
Bro, I think I'd be remiss not to say Alliance.
Yeah?
Really, yeah.
I think that's a fair choice at this point.
I think
kind of rude to go against them.
Yeah, a hat-trick's on its way, apparently, but we'll see. We will see. Currently they're down towards that south side, playing around Los Leones. We'll see what they can get done from that position. Got a couple of squads around them. Bro Harami, who honestly threw that last match away.
It really did, bro. That rotate had us scratching our heads. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, it didn't make much sense. I mean, Harami's a good team. What are you doing? Also, check out our cool skins here for PMWC. There is some pretty awesome ones in there, including the Violet set too. So, obviously, we'll be heading into the game looking cool, looking fresh, looking for some big, big maneuvers. On our map at the moment, Mad Bull's down towards Puerto Paraíso. Just absolutely excluding themselves from anyone else, isolating themselves in Paraíso itself because they need some paradise after that last game. It was crushing. You're in a 3v1 times 3.
Yeah.
Like, what have you done?
Man,
how have you achieved this?
Just the backstabs as well. The way you could see the wheels come off, the whole thing start to unravel. Like, it's gut-wrenching to watch, but you imagine how bad it feels to play in those scenarios where you're just watching it unfold.
Massively. I mean, for Mad Bulls as well, you're on the up and up on that game.
Yeah.
You've had a horrid day so far to then get to a point where you're like, I'm dominating this lobby. We're absolutely nailing it. Tulik is feeling good. And then for it all to just crumble in front of your eyes, you've got to also imagine the talks in between the team. Like, Tulik has got to be mad.
Bro, the guy was sitting at like, what, 1.2k damage, still on the climb. Like, he was hitting some mad shots, finding opportunities to rotate on himself. You're right, but also the other thing is, right, you got like, what, 10 minutes max? How do you even unpack the bag on that one and reset? You got to just look past it.
Just get in. Just like, look, guys, forget about it. We'll go again. We'll try and get some points scored towards the end of the day. So we've at least got a good inning coming into tomorrow. It's sad, though, bro. It's really, really sad. Looking at the map, though, we do have some teams taking resistance towards the center now. You got Vampire, as well as Team Liquid, Reject, hovering around Power Grid right now. Bit of a split from them. I think it's okay for now. Most teams are more worried about getting that loot on board with the Western leading playing path.
Yeah, I'd like to see Reject as well. I know I am like the ¡1 Reject guy. I'm always in the corner. I even brought my own homemade flag.
Yeah, bro.
I got it for
you are Reject.
Yeah, I always get rejected. Well, luckily you accept me, Blank.
I do accept you, bro. Yeah, I accept your choices in game. I mean, to be honest with you, yesterday Reject looked kind of nice.
Yeah, they did.
And we said it before and we'll say it again, it just feels like Reject just cannot play close quarters combat. And I think that that's something that they'll need to work on. Right now they are safe. But you imagine that's going to change tomorrow. I think that they need around about 70 points at the end of this day to feel a little bit better about their position. You know, 2 days of play, 35 points. That's not a bad average. It's not the best average in the world, but it should be good enough if some of these teams down below aren't able to play their hearts out. The difficulty is tomorrow, Red is not going to be playing.
Yeah.
Which means Alliance is not going to be playing. And we all know that Alliance is the one been sucking up a lot of these points, and it might be a case that with Tiamba, Alliance out, both really big teams here, it's going to enable a lot of these squads in green and yellow that just shoot up the lobby. So Reject's kind of important in a really difficult group here, I would say.
Yeah, if you're going to straighten up and fly right, I think it has to obviously start here and then have a big finish towards the end of the day. You need some back-to-back momentum, try and farm as many points as you can. Because like we said, you can't leave it in the hands of someone else. If you're sat on the wayside watching tomorrow, that's going to feel so rough when you look at it and go, all right, yeah, I guess we just have to try and survive.
I mean, exactly, like coming into this group, I do think that Reject has been hurt just by being sat in Group Red. Because if you look at it, Dear Savior, great team. Besiktas Black been able to put up some really good performances. Alliance, insane. You've also got 4 Miracle Vibes, a big favorite for a lot of teams coming into this one. Brute Force, one of the best teams from EMEA. And then you've got Reject, which a lot of people didn't have too much hope for. But on our screens, that's your teammate.
He's not got the medic bullets. Can't get him back on his feet. Oh, he's so dialed in. He's so dialed in. That's what that is. Just shows how confident he is in the firefights, trying to take everyone out of commission. This is you at least being tested early on. I mean, maybe there's a timeline here, TJB, if they can find the right targets, are able to build something off the back of it. But you get the swing around the corner. He's got the air maxes on. He bumps in. That's it, dude. It's done.
I mean, it's a full reset as well for Alliance. This is nuts right now for this team. Tongji about taken out, but here comes Harami trying to make a more decent rotation before. But again, this is going to be a 4v2. No real possibility of getting a third player back up here, I don't think. Nade through the window could be devastating to the squad. Doesn't do all that much damage. It bounces back off the window frame.
Uh-oh, okay, so they've still got a little bit of leeway, but the peek through the window is good at least. Federales making issues as he comes in to sweep his way through the building and deny the response. They were trying to play medic and get themselves back in the fight, but it's all down to one man. This time it's Jimmy that's got to withstand the entire team, and they run on in to clean up, looking to throw him out of commission. They're going to get buckled, they're going to get battered, and honestly, Blank, it's going south quick.
For Alliance, though, taking 2 fights back-to-back. They had to bring 2 teams to the table just to shut them down. Goodness me. And what's this, Jackie? Mad Bulls. They're dead.
They're gone.
When did that happen? We were talking about the mental game. They flubbed it.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of...
It's ruined them.
Probably going to be worse now as well, right? That doesn't get any better.
Oh, dear me. That is upsetting, to say the least. I didn't even see them go out. It's not on my radar.
No, that's rough, bro. We're dialing in with You Alliance, just taking fight after fight. You look back for the overall perspective. Untunnel vision. Mad Bull's gone. Whew, not even 1 point with their name as well. That really is going to be savage for them. Got to sit on the wayside for the whole match.
Yeah, it wasn't even a reset. It was just a power off, apparently, for this team after that match.
Hard shutdown.
Hard shutdown. Looking here, though, we're going to get our second circle. This is the biggest shift we'll have on Miramar. It is the one that has the most weight on it. A lot of teams all trying to stay as central as possible, and it is the right play here.
It is indeed. Get yourself set up. I would like to see a little bit from Liquid on this one, actually. Have them get back into it. I know coming into the event, you were pretty confident Liquid would have some good stock too on Blank.
Yeah, I was. I mean, they won the first game of the day on Sandhawk. They did well on that one. But again, it was just pretty easy rotation for them to make. It was the right heads-up decision. And again, that's something that Team Liquid are good at, is just making the right decisions in the right moments. But they're coming up against a caliber of teams that are so hungry to make it into the main tournament here. It's intense for them, and I think that they're getting to grips with the fact that no one is really going to be allowing you to just get away with this as much anymore.
There's no freebies. There's no easy ones. We're seeing that with the quality of competition we've had over the course of the day already. Everyone is playing their absolute hearts out. And it's what you've got to do. It's so important that you accumulate those points at this stage. You know you're getting close towards that midnight hour. Yeah,
12th place or 13th place and downwards, like, ooh, that is a rough position to be in. The survival stage is so brutal. We'll be covering it very shortly after tomorrow's games, where we'll clear all this one up for you, tie a little ribbon on it, and get gone straight into those 2 days of grueling play for the main tournament. Right now, we've got to set our sights on Miramar, set our sight towards that central position. You've got that high ground over towards that northwest side, which a lot of teams are taking advantage of right now. We're looking at Brute Force, as well as IHC, Falcons looking down towards some of these teams. DXAV did pick themselves up a nice position, but we're getting a replay right now on this fight between Bro Harami as well as Alliance. Again, didn't feel all that impressive with the fact that Alliance had already taken a massive beating from Tongji Bao earlier on. Still came back from it.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose as well, you know, we're talking about the potential of the point hoover that is just going to be sucking up so many of those points and bloating in that first place. At least there you starve off that potential. Still found a way to get themselves 4 elim points off the game as well, though. All things considered, it's been a pretty good day in the office for them.
Breaking the triple digits, they're looking at around about a 9-point average per game, which is nuts. Probably higher than that because we've not even concluded our 6th match. I think at 120, you're on a 10-point average, which is sort of CCT levels, you know, championship caliber team.
Also defined as gross. Really quite outrageous. I would give you that one as well, mate.
Yeah.
It's filthy. You know, the way they've been playing. We were really impressed yesterday, and I think they've only leveled up more. So if that's something where that power level is going to increase, Bud, you look in towards the main event, boy, that could be absolutely outrageous if they can maintain this. Obviously, tougher competition, but it could be tasty.
Yeah, I like that viewpoint from Chips there. Just looks over, sees a flaming UAZ across the horizon. I don't know what's going on there, but it doesn't look good. Next circle did hit whilst we were rambling, yapping on the broadcast. Head down to the south side here, cutting out a lot of that high ground up towards the northwest and more standing up towards Picardo. And a Picardo finish is always fun. Get the crate drop, see if anyone's able to pick this one up whilst we're waiting. But yeah, down to 13 teams already. The fact that we've already kicked out 3 from the lobby this early on in Miramar is pretty massive, considering how big the map is as well.
Yeah.
Like, you're not expecting teams to come into close contact so early, but with that playing path, it just clumped everyone up.
Yeah. Feeling like you want to force the fights a little bit as well. As soon as they saw that opportunity onto you, it makes sense why that one occurred. The Mad Bulls situation's a whole other kettle of fish, but...
Yeah, we don't talk about that one.
No, we don't talk about Mad Bulls Fight Club.
We do not. We don't want to talk about it, really. I think I prefer to have the boys just have a bit of a reset for themselves. Guys that have been casting for a long, long time, and it just doesn't feel good seeing them have this sort of display here. Feels like a team doomed to the bottom 12, really, at this point, unless there's an absolute change in performance tomorrow. D plus Kia, Talon, try to head over, have a scout. He's instantly sent away by Osal.
Nice lob on the nade as well. It was clean damage. Ooh, they really want to follow it up with the Mini 14. A few pot shots going out. Yeah, bandage yourself back up and try to get away.
Almost had him as well. I think one more shot. Headshot would have done him in. Popped him out the back there. Scout that could have gone very wrong for Talent. Equally, at the moment, not doing so hot for themselves. 23 points currently on the games. Got to remember that they have only had 1 day of play, though. You sort of compare that to a Tiamba, who it was all the rage earlier today. Just broke their triple digits as well with their 4 eliminations on this game. I think it must have been Tiamba that took down Mad Bulls in that case. Love to see a replay on that one. I'm sure that we'll have it either on the desk segment or on the recap at the end of the day. Who knows? I couldn't tell you right now. I don't have that kind of power.
We'll get you the Mystic Ball.
Thanks.
You can divine it out.
I need it.
We'll have that set up for the rest of the event, don't worry. For Miracle Vibes, though, I don't know if they'll be really able to use that ball to assess the situation here, because all they're living in right now is the present that results in them taking a ton of damage. Opening shots getting whizzed onto them. It's been a bit topsy-turvy for them over the course of the day, and again, here they're going to have issues. The Amber, though, going in. This is what they do best. They like to try and converge on a unit together and see if they can swipe their way through. Talon do bring the claws out, and they slice back. Bond down, looking for the close quarters compound fight with the DBS. The team trying to reset. You've got Talon on the outskirts as well with an age. Can get a nice lob on that through the window, potentially cause some issues. And issues are what are happening here for Tiamba Blank. It's not getting any better on this one.
Nice bounce on the nade there from QZ. Is it going to be enough though, really? Is there's just damage pouring in through the windows at the moment. QZ has had some incredible moments for himself, burning now at the top of the stairs, taking a lot of damage off the back of that one. Nade going to be set around the side. Could have been a huge DBS shot. What was that? I heard the shot. It was on target.
It felt like it just didn't hit. It looked like it just didn't hit. It felt like he was set up for the play, right? The instant sweep down the stairs. I'm baffled, Blank.
The bullets have just flew around him. On either side of his body, there was 2 players there.
Right in front of him, dead center. He was set up for it. Could have been success on the stairway. You clean 2. Oh, it's gone. It's gone, but
I can't tell the shot didn't register or it's just a minute lag where you hear the shot, but he's already been taken down at that point. But he felt like he'd been robbed there.
that's rough. That is rough to watch, and it's got to feel even worse for Tamba to actually experience it. They thought they had a golden opportunity, one that was put on a platter there to go in for the swoop down on the Talon, but they withstand.
Nice position from Reject at the moment. I love this spot when you play along this ridge side up towards the northeast. Good shots. The drive-by comes through. Tony K laid bare there by the boys on Besiktas.
Tony K, he's a man that you need to keep down if you can. Don't give him any room to breathe. Bullets now coming through from all angles. Liquid have a lay of the land from the side. You've got Falcons close by as well, and Reject up on the hill. You go from finding one opportunity to establish a knock to realizing you could have that happen to your whole squad in quick succession now.
And they get themselves in a position here where I think they assume they'll be pretty safe, but I think they all had to head in towards the shack there. I think it was a bit overzealous trying to take advantage of the overlook. There's too many teams looking over towards that position right now. You've got a huge amount of squads who all move nice and early up towards that northeast side to get away from that western plane path, who are now all just stuck in a room together. On the other hand of things, if you cut this circle down the middle, you basically just got 2 teams out on the west. But the Xavier as well as IHC. Nice shot from Jappy though.
Taking a couple of pot shots as they find that opportunity. You look to set up with the response. I mean, Brute Force have a little bit of leeway in the back line, but the rest of the squad is taking so much damage that it's crumbling away. Any opportunity they might have really had there now looks like it's starting to crumble. Whereas you've got the Bro Boys starting to push up, looking to clap back. They've got the brass knuckles on, Blank. They want to commit to this one.
Left, right, good night here on the Brute Force team. Like you said, they've got the force, they're brutish, but the defense is not there. Wearing the Barbarians outfit here. No knight in shining armor. They're bruising here in this game.
Cruising for a bruising and not the way they would want it to go with how this one is starting to pan out. So many squads on top of one another as well, and that utility really will go the extra mile. Looking to see if you can get those nades on target, take the vehicle out. They know where Vampire is. You really have to try and provide yourself a bit of cover here. Heal yourselves back up and reset from that.
Circle about to pop here. We're waiting to see where this one goes because it can favor a lot of teams. Honestly, I do love Reject's position whilst 4MB is attempting to get rid of the guys here on D plus Kia. Nice nades after nice nades here from the boys. 3 of them left. They did take a big amount of damage earlier on. Circle heads up towards that northwest side. IHC, DX Xavier happy with this one.
DX Xavier will be over the moon, but I tell you who won right here on your screens. You can see those nades have not stopped the barrage that has been blowing away anything for D plus Kia and making them feel like they need to bail out on this. It's uncomfortable. You've got to get the quick moves on the reset, see if you can top yourselves back up and maybe close the gap a little bit, pushing somewhat up the hill. You give yourself a bit of cover to play with. Try and get ahead of the arc on these nades for Miracle Vibes. If they can get in close, you might be able to finally put a pin on this one and slow it down.
Closing this one out just a little bit for D plus Kia. They've been given some space to work with. 4MV sat down in the ditch and K's up close now. He's had some good moments in the past and he sees teams just running. He's going in for the run over. Opens things up here. 4K gets the double spray down. Will only pick up 1 though.
Oh, the predictive shot round the corner.
Ooh.
He still gets the repeat blank. He's able to take the angle once again and find another one off the back of it. It was looking so good for Miracle Vibes. And they had him trapped. And now it's getting blown to bits. And Talon have seen their opportunity to sweep straight in and continue dogpiling the pressure on. They don't want to give D plus Kia any room to withstand this fight. You're right on top of them when they're low HP across the board. You spread the push round the back as well. You're up close. This should be simple for him. And he jives round. They're just crumbling.
D plus Kia has had a hard task ahead of them. Just 1 left with chips here Osal on the floor, crawling around, passing that information back, but this is a big moment now for Chips. Can he weather them?
When the chips are down, he's got to do something huge. The DBS, we know it can roar, but not in this situation. Overwhelmed, too many angles to prioritize. He falters and the team falls.
Roars as loud as he can, but Talon comes in with a quick trank dart there. Take him out. Tiamba couldn't handle it either. Just added to the amount of pelts that they are having on their backs at the moment. We're back on Reject side. 4 players still up, strong position on this eastern edge. They can still clear out here, I would say. They're going to be very worried about Bro Harami, as well as Vampire Esports living in the wings here.
For me, it's just if they can maintain the distance. When they've got space, it's fine. We've seen them hitting huge shots on the snipes, on the Mini 14. They're able to establish that control. When you get in close, it feels like it goes wrong in close quarters combat. So Reject need to play to their strengths on this one. It's not going to be as easy as saying that. There's pressure being applied from the other squads that are looking to advance. Liquid as well, finding slight opportunities to take pot shots, establishing chip damage back over onto Vampire.
Yeah, Reject playing kind of scared here, but I don't think he can at this point in time. 46 points after 2 days is not enough. You need to start picking up points right now, and they are thinning as we speak. 32 players, left alive. And only so many of those points are available. 28 eliminations, but with the amount of action that's going on, Falcons coming up to have a little peek over towards Team Liquid's position, and just nades pouring over the top towards Harami. Vampire trying to clear them out off this high ground, but it's very tough.
Ooh, Ocio took the peak as well and got flicked on by Falcons in the meanwhile as this fight carries on in front of our very eyes. You've got trades, but it's all about a nade. That's what's going to blow up to bits blank. Goodbye, Vampire.
A stake in the heart for that team. Insane nade from Bro Harami. I mean, they sent back, what was it, 7, 8 nades up towards Bro Harami. They just need the one.
Well placed, a detonation. They've been eating nitro for breakfast because this game's getting explosive right now. Things are starting to heat up inside of the battleground blank. Meanwhile, Xavier, they're still chilling. They've had control for so long in a comfortable position whilst the rest of the squads are forced to fight it out for any sort of rotate.
Reject just not able to do too much here. I mean, Team Liquid, they're playing the slow game right now. The Knight on the Horse move to D4, playing it tactically, but it's Bro Harami bringing the C4 over towards Vampire Esports, attempting to just blast them back, and I think that they can carry this one on. They got the full reset on the loot from Vampire too. It's just this vehicle, they have to send it in, but Duello with the M249, the big gun in the back pocket, ruins their day.
Throws in the clip and lets it rip. Everyone taken down in seconds there as the meaty weapon claws its way through them. Reject. It's looking like it was starting to go south, but if they can bring the energy back after commanding respect in that fight, could still have a good run ahead of them.
Falcons been testing the waters for a long time, and they're starting to go from lukewarm to very, very hot quite quickly as Team Liquid has been keeping a lot of teams around them at bay. In the meantime, IHC, Xavier, living in their own land, really. Not much happening on that side of the map.
They're just safe. They're out of the fight. They don't want to get stuck into it if they don't need to. Just look for an opportunity, maybe one that could be presented by Lamborghini's rotate. He's starting to pull up stealth style around the back of the compound.
You're at a peak right now over towards Falcons. A really nice little off angle for them. I don't know what IHC is doing. They had a great position over towards that northwest side, but with Demo getting knocked out, as Xavier solidifies their position, Reject using that high ground to push Team Liquid back. This could be a good game for them, but it's a case of getting back across towards Talon, which is going to be the difficulty. Talon trying to hold back the boys from IHC. They're a tough team, they're a strong team, they're an aggressive team, but playing uphill, never simple for any team in PUBG Mobile.
Talon have popped the smokes, and they're looking to leave them broke. if they find an opportunity to peek down onto IHC. One man's gonna fall. Demo taken out of commission. Meanwhile, Reject, they've been causing so much infighting from both Liquid and Falcons. They're finding snapshots into the backline each time and making it uncomfortable for them to move. So they're just taking shots at each other, whilst Reject is sitting pretty. Talon is still just trying to hold this push as well. Slight moves up the hill. There is a tag back. That's Lamborghini that was building the flank. He gets one shot off onto Sarah.
Yeah, heading down there now is a very, very bad ordeal. Here's the off angle we were talking about earlier though from Lamborghini. You spotted it, you sniffed it out, and he has spotted the guys on Falcons too now with the binocs, looking to make it uncomfortable with Chua though. Circle starts to move in. Do they pick him up or do they go on as 3? Pretty uncomfortable as well for the fact that they haven't had to do too much in the game. They're losing a player at this point, at this very exact time in the match. Is so uncomfortable to deal with.
Looks like Lamborghini's hopped in the vehicle trying to make his move, at least now walking back on his feet, potentially going for that pickup on Chua, as they know it could be really lucrative to have the 4-player squad alive the longer this one goes on, especially with the damage that's being established to the other teams, like we're starting to see here. Falcons, they've been getting pushed from pillar to post. They've had nowhere to go. Liquid have always had their pathway blocked. They knew Lamborghini was in the back. With him moving off, they get an opportunity to dive in the vehicles, try and create some space, try and cause some issues.
There's a smart move there. They had to make it. They had to make it now. But look at this. Chief just ripping them to pieces on the side. Regiocio will actually slap back there a little bit over towards the guys on Team Liquid. But it's Einix from Talon who's got behind them. Can Reject stay underneath, stay undetected for long enough? They're able to play out this game. They've got a good bit of cover, but they're all inside this shack. One nade could be the difference between them and this game.
They draw the crosshair off slightly with the peek up towards the backside, keeping them guessing. They're so close in elims right now, competing amongst each other. Talon with 8, Reject with 7 to their name. But like you say, they're in a bit of a bad spot. You've got to build off the back of it. Hope you get an opportunity presented by some of the other squads that are firing bullets uphill towards Talon's angle.
Man, it felt like things just got real intense in the PMWC here group stage. Teams are gunning for these performances. In comes Cardozin, not going to get very far though. Asara spots him with the AUG. We'll put an end to them. 4 eliminations, not quite enough. Good shots from Axel, though, on Talon. Takes down Duello, leaves Reject as a 3. Xavier were able to pick up Chua, and for good reason. That guy is sick with the nades. And in geometry like this, you desperately need someone who's able to just clear out those ditches.
They knew they needed him. A Lamborghini. His mission was a success. And the damage he did previously as well, that's going to put them in a good mental space to try and see if they can bring this one out. You're going to have to start getting a move on though, Blank. Things don't come easy now.
All these teams on the eastern side, a really difficult rotation for them to make. They've got to slip down this hill. For Reject, this is slightly more comfortable with the fact that Talon's going to have to move off this high ground further towards IHC zone. But look at this, man. What a great viewpoint we've got right now on the bird's eye view. Just looking at this position that Xavier's got set up, it feels like it's in the bag for them as Talon just starts to take casualties.
Yeah, it could be a game-winning spot for them if they can just deliver when it comes to actually hitting the good shots, the money makers. IHC, it's been a bit bumpy on this one. They've had opportunities, but it's felt like it's been so rough on the rotates. Meanwhile, you've had Reject trapped inside of a building for so long. They knew they had to move. They start to fan out, but you're giving isolated fights where they can take 2v1s, focus the fire, and shut a man down. That is just the solo of Falcons as well. He's really revealed himself. He's put a target on his back for the other squads. Reject slow it back. IHC get pushed in. They're looking for the bonnet. They want to run him down. He turns, burns onto Misery that's now going to be feeling that emotion, and they try and keep it going. All right, Talon taking hot shots. You've got the fight back from OCO as well onto Falcons, who finally finds the solo and shuts that man down. Issues being arisen. How on earth is he still standing as the vehicle whizzes by?
Godless still alive for so long here. Doesn't need a god because he makes his own miracles apparently. Nades over the top from Rogue. Will take out another. This is intense, Jackie. Incredible plays here coming through from IHC. And they managed to get themselves still in this game, playing alongside this Ridge. Reject in the meantime, they moved out. The M249 was barking like a K9, but they're not fine anymore over towards that top side of the map. And it's IHC, a 2v4.
IHC, Is that somehow, some way they can find the upset to pick up the 2v4 and clap back? Lamborghini denies the potential as he strikes first, leaves it all on one. They want to close it down and walk away with the chicken dinner. They played a smart game. They played a positional game. And in each and every fight, they're finding success. With the 4 players alive, they will take it home as they're going to grab themselves the chicken dinner.
Great game there from DXavier. Honestly, it didn't look too impressive, but you take that high ground, you see it still in the circle. I think what was impressive from DXavier there, you know, they're not elated on that game. It's no surprise because it didn't take too much, but it's the fact that they were constantly looking, constantly spotting these other players in the lobby. They had great ideas of where everyone was in that end game to ensure that ridgeline was